Super Mario Land changed gaming forever, and we need to talk about it. This was the first fully portable 2D Mario game on a handheld, and I think it deserves a lot more praise than it's usually given. But the real question is Super Mario Land really that good? Well, let's find out today and get this over with.
The Game Boy, one of the most revolutionary products of our modern age, with those iconic red buttons, the design of a brick.
How could they mess it up?
I'll tell you how. Super Mario Land. Yeah, this game. This was one of the first games that I ever got for my Game Boy Color, and I loved this thing to death.
Unfortunately, while I might not be dead yet, I still love this thing. But looking back on it, I don't think we remember Super Mario Land as much as we really should, and I don't think it's as good as we remember it being. What did you say about Mario Land? Whoa, dude, calm down. It's just a game. Just a game? Just a game? This thing was revolutionary. It shaped how we play video games to this very day. And it's still awful. You take that back! Here, just let me explain.
Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of this game, and it's fine if you want to crucify me.
Allow me to rephrase the statement.
Super Mario Land has obvious flaws that need to be talked about, but first let's talk about the history of the game. Super Mario Land was originally being developed as a launch title for the Game Boy, which would have been a smart move, but to sum up the situation, some Russian dude had to come in and introduce the world to shape, so Nintendo went,
mine!
Super Mario Land was being developed by Nintendo's Research and Development 1 department and was directed by Satoru Okada throughout all of 1988. This was also around the release of Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES in North America and Super Mario Bros. 3 over in Japan. Because of all of this, it was very obvious to gamers that this was the time to be alive as a Mario gamer. But that's not all we have. We also have a few news segments from the 80s and 90s to tell us exactly what they thought of this game. Giving us the weather, Tom.
Now the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's like a visceral reaction of discontent coming from this area. I don't like this either. I hate this. But I'm mainly worried about this.
Released on April 21st, 1989, Super Mario Land was automatically a financial and critical success, selling over 18 million copies, which is more than Super Mario Bros. 3, one of the best NES games of all time ever sold. That's some impressive stuff for a game that can't even be a cup coaster.
Dang it!
Booting up the game, you get this cool looking menu that looks really reminiscent of the first Mario game on the NES. I understand that the game was released very early on in the Game Boy's life, but it would have been fun to show off, you know, a fun little start screen, and something as small as a title screen would have been great. Even something as small as a little bit of music or a bit of text at the bottom saying play or give up your firstborn child would have been fun.
Personally, I prefer the latter. Again, take that back! I'm sorry, I know what my body likes and it's obviously not this. But you don't know what your body likes because you haven't played the game. Oh, I guess that's true. I'm still not gonna like it.
Are you sure this is Mario? I mean, it almost looks like Mario. It almost plays like Mario, but it's still not technically Mario. The levels, while bland and unoriginal, are still Mario levels. Not quite New Super Mario Bros. Levels of bland, but it's still pretty high up there. The enemies can range from anything like Goombas, which aren't even called Goombas. They're known as Chibibos because
we can do, dear God, anything but be normal human beings.
There's also this exploding Koopa Troopa, which are called Nokobones. That's right, we finally combined the Astif movie Mind Turtle with wildlife. Reality strikes again.
Hello, copyright-free Mind Turtle.
Overall, the gameplay is very short, with only about 12 levels to play. 12. Not 32 like Mario 1, not 90 like Mario 3, 12. That's pathetic. I mean, of course it was a launch title, and of course it was a Mario game on a Game Boy, but I mean, like, come on, get some variety in this thing. Once again, I get why the levels were so short and small, mainly due to the console's limitations around launch, but that still doesn't make me feel any better about myself. You know what? It doesn't matter. As long as the game and levels are fun, let's get into it. Hopping into the first level, you're immediately greeted by absolutely nothing special.
I mean, seriously, it's like Mario had a budget cut and had to work with whatever they could find on Shutterstock. It's weird because it oddly feels off from other Mario games, and don't even get me started on the physics. What about physics? I said don't get me started!
Did someone say physics?
See what you've done!
Mario controls like he's either stuck in mud or floating on the moon, which is ironic since that's literally what they do in the sequel Mario Land 2, but that's kind of irrelevant. You press jump and it feels like the man weighs 300 pounds, but at the same time he's as light as a feather. We could blame it on him being Italian, but I don't know, that just wouldn't fit. Once you get past the first couple of levels, you'll start to notice something else. The music. It's weirdly catchy, but also it doesn't feel like it belongs in a Mario game. It's almost like it's too good. Like, did someone accidentally switch out the soundtrack with a knockoff Indiana Jones theme that ironically sounds really good?
Put your hand back down. Okay.
Once again, don't get me wrong, it's amazing, but it's kind of like putting a rock ballad in the middle of a romantic comedy. You're not sure why it's there, but you kind of vibe with it. Take Bohemian Rhapsody, for example.
Stop getting copyrighted! I'll do what I want!
By the time you get to the later levels, it feels like Mario's just given up, which is understandable enough. There's a few random levels where you're in a submarine or airplane and it's not even a platformer anymore. It's a side-scrolling shooter.
Okay, now you're just making things up. Oh, I wish I was. Wait a minute, you've played the game, right? Not according to my birth certificate.
Honestly, these aren't the worst levels I've ever played in Mario's history. There's always... Get that off the screen. Interestingly enough, Mario's creator Shigeru Miyamoto wanted side-scrolling shoot-'em-up levels like these in the original Mario Brothers, but due to technical limitations at the time, it just wasn't possible.
So they threw the bone to the Game Boy players. Essentially, exactly, and unfortunately. Basically, if you have a million ideas, that doesn't mean it's a good idea. First of all, excuse me. Second, I don't think it was all bad. Princess Daisy was pretty cool. You fool. You bum. You absolute buffoon. You
Ah, yes, Princess Daisy, Mario's first girlfriend before he was like, nah, let me try this whole princess thing again, but with more castles. Later on, Daisy was moved on to Mario's younger brother Luigi as his love interest, so Mario could be with Princess whatever you want to call her, Peach. Oh yeah, and by the way, we aren't in the Mushroom Kingdom anymore. No, we're in Sarasaland. This is the kingdom that Princess Daisy rules and has tyranny over. What? I didn't say a thing.
Everybody's gotta start somewhere, huh?
I mean, I understand that Nintendo wanted to make a whole new land for Mario to explore, but come on, Sarasaland doesn't feel like Mario, unlike the sequel, which is better in every possible way.
So let me guess, you're gonna talk about Mario Land 2 next, huh? I don't have time today, but maybe another time. Well, when you do, don't worry, I can sense it. I've had an alarm installed in my house, so whenever you talk about Mario Land 2, I'll be there. Ah, how thoughtful. Wait, you don't live here? Yeah, my house. What? Don't question it. Okay.
And the final boss of this game. Not Bowser, not even a Koopa. No, it's this weird alien thing called Tatanga. Yeah, this guy. Clearly Nintendo ran out of ideas for villains and just said, let's throw this purple alien. That'll work. And no, before you ask, this isn't William Afton.
I don't make the rules!
This isn't the first time that Mario's had a different villain from different games. If you look at Super Mario Bros. 2 on the NES, you'll see that they have a different frog-looking guy, Wart. He's kind of scary if you ask me, but that's besides the point. In the end, Super Mario Land is a short, weird, and a bit rough around the edges, but hey, it was Mario's first portable adventure, and you can't knock it too much for that. Just maybe don't play it while driving.
Yeah, never again. I just wish that you'd enjoy the game. Honestly, I do too. I just don't think it's really worth my time, if you get what I'm saying. I want to like this game, it just doesn't feel right. Alright, I'll see you for Mario Land 2. Hello? Is she okay? Okay. Okay.